When you travel to Greece, there are so many things to see, so many things to do. How do you choose? If you're following in the footsteps of the Apostle Paul, it is possible to focus your visit on a series of archaeological sites and museums. For the sake of ease, I've divided this into a group of cities in the north and a group of cities in the south. In the north, you have 4 basic locations: Philippi, Thessaloniki, Berea, and Vergina. The Apostle Paul first landed on European soil in Neapolis, which is the modern-day city of Kavala. And there he walked inland to Philippi. There was no synagogue there, so he went to the river to see if there was anyone meeting there, and he indeed did find some God-fearers. One of among them was named Lydia, and he led her to the Lord. You can visit today the baptistry of Lydia just outside of the archaeological site of Philippi. Approximately 2 hours south of Philippi, you find the city of Thessaloniki. This is the second largest modern city in Greece, and to be honest, a lot of the ancient artifacts are actually still under the modern city. However, the Roman Forum has been excavated, and here is the place where Jason was dragged before the city authorities while the Apostle Paul escaped to Berea. Interestingly, Luke used the term politarch to describe the city authorities. For many, many centuries, this term was not attested anywhere outside of the New Testament, and some people even doubted whether it was an accurate description. More recently, several inscriptions have been found in the region surrounding Thessaloniki that contain this term, and you can also see these in the Archaeological Museum. While Jason was before the city authorities in Thessaloniki, Paul fled to Berea. He preached to noble-minded and receptive people there in the synagogue. Today, you can find a modern synagogue built upon the foundation of the ancient synagogue where the Apostle Paul preached, along with a monument that commemorates the ministry of the Apostle Paul. Close by to Berea, you will find Vergina. Vergina is not a biblical site per se, but it is the place where Philip II, father to Alexander the Great, was assassinated and buried. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is phenomenal. You can also see the palace where Alexander the Great was coronated. Quite frankly, the reason that we have the New Testament written in Greek is because of Alexander the Great and his conquering of the known world. In the southern part of Greece, you will find 3 basic cities: Athens, Corinth, and Delphi. While Delphi is not a city that the Apostle Paul visited, as far as we know, it is a very interesting and important archaeological site to visit. For one, the cult of Apollo there explains a lot about all the challenges that the Corinthians were having related to tongues and prophecy. Also, you will find the inscription written from the Emperor Claudius to the people of Delphi, mentioning Gallio, who is the proconsul that Paul goes before in Acts 18. Scholars use this inscription to date the events of the book of Acts. Ancient Corinth is a treasure trove of biblical insights. For one, you can see the Erastus inscription. This inscription uses the name which is mentioned twice by Paul in his letters and once by Luke in Acts. It's a very uncommon name, and the inscription can be linked to the personality whom Paul led to the Lord in Corinth. Also, you can see a display of the Asclepion, and this helps us to explain the gifts of the Spirit as Paul explains them in 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Athens, of course, is one of the most famous cities in the world. It's also the place where the Apostle Paul preached to the philosophers on Mars Hill. Just standing on Mars Hill, looking up to the Acropolis and down to the Temple of Hephaestus, helps you to understand exactly what Paul was saying when he talked about temples not made with human hands. There are a few places that deserve an honorable mention. In between Vergina and Delphi, you can visit Meteoria. Here you have a great introduction to the Greek Orthodox tradition, as well as some iconic scenery. Centuries ago, monks built amazing monasteries on top of rocks. They used a cart and pulley system to get up to the top in the olden days, or just climbed the face of the rocks. If you continue further south from Corinth in the Peloponnese, you will come to Olympia. Every 4 years, the Olympic flame is lit here from the light of the sun, and it's a fantastic place to learn more about the athletic imagery used by the Apostle Paul and other writers in the New Testament to explain our faith. Our downloadable audio tour guides will help you see each of the points of interest in all of these archaeological sites and museums. If you want more information on how to purchase that, simply go to www.greekbibletours.com/planyourtrip.